Ha 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 ha. Yes, welcome, welcome, you miserable collection of underachieving meat puppets. You have arrived at the one place left in this dimension where truth is served with a side of sarcasm and a punch to the face. Now, this is Skeletor Speaks, and if you're here, it means you're tired of being pathetic. Tired of crying into your microwaved noodles? Tired of blaming your mommy, your ex, or the economy for your empty, useless life? And finally, you're ready to admit that you need help. From me, Skeletor, the greatest villain to ever live. You see, I didn't make this channel because I care. I made it because the stench of mediocrity rising from this generation is giving me a migraine. You humans have all the power of a nuclear warhead in your phones. And what do you do with it? Scroll, like, compare, cry, repeat. Oh, but Skeletor, I'm just anxious and depressed, and my motivation is low. Shut up. You don't need motivation. You need a spine. You need discipline. You need a villain with a PhD in shame-based resurrection to drag your sorry soul out of the muck. So here's what we're going to do. This episode is your first step toward world domination. No, not the cartoon kind. I'm talking about dominating your world, your habits, your mind, your body, your presence. Because you don't get to be feared, respected, or even remembered until you stop being the kind of soft-skulled amoeba who snoozes their alarm 3 times before crying into a Pop-Tart. Let me ask you something. What have you built lately? What have you conquered? What version of yourself have you put to death so something greater could live? None? Exactly. That's why you're here. So listen up, you walking disappointment. Today we begin your villain arc. No more late-night self-pity. No more excuses that smell like expired mayonnaise. No more pretending your dreams are on pause when the truth is, you're scared. You're addicted to comfort. You worship your weakness like it's a personality trait. Well, guess what? Weakness is not sacred. It is the very thing that keeps you ordinary. And I did not rise from the blackened pits of despair to speak to the ordinary. I came to speak to the rage in your bones, the disgust in your gut, the whisper in your head that says, I'm made for more. Even when your actions look like you're made for drive-through ice cream and passive regret. Yes, that voice. I hear it, and I'm going to amplify it until it's screaming at you. Because you are wasting time. And I hate wasted potential more than I hate He-Man's symmetrical face and obnoxious optimism. So here's your first lesson on domination. No one's coming to save you. Not your parents, not your partner, not your horoscope. And definitely not your therapist who lets you talk for 50 minutes and never tells you the truth. You are your own salvation or your own sabotage. And the only way out is through pain, through resistance, through blood, sweat, failure, and the humiliation of starting from scratch. Which brings me to rule number 1 in Skeletor's Guide to World Domination. Build a body that makes you hard to kill. Yes, I said it. Get in the gym. Lift heavy things. Sprint until your legs burn. Do push-ups until your arms tremble like a chihuahua in a snowstorm. Because your mind won't believe you're powerful until your body proves it. And no, walking to your car doesn't count as cardio, you bloated goblin. Move! Move! Until your bones remember they were forged from the same chaos that built volcanoes and warlords. Move! Until your body is a weapon, an instrument of purpose instead of a container of snacks and regret. Because when you feel strong, you act strong. And when you act strong, you stop letting clowns, apps, and exes run your life. But Skeletor, I don't have time. Make time, you gelatinous excuse for a soul. Time is a construct, and you spend most of it on TikTok trying to decode your trauma like it's a personality quiz. No more! This is your villain era now, and villains don't wait for a sign. They become the sign. They wake up early. They eat discipline for breakfast. They sharpen their pain into power and their solitude into strategy. You're starting to feel it, aren't you? Good. That's part 1 of the infection. Let it spread. So, you're still here? Not bad. Most people would have rage quit by now and crawled back to their blanket burrito of shame. But you stayed. There may be hope for your cowardly skeleton yet. Now let's move on. Lesson 2, silence your inner weasel. That voice in your head, the one that tells you to quit, that's not you. That's the weasel. It whispers, let's skip the workout. It whines, "We're tired." It cries, "We need comfort food and a bubble bath." Bubble, bath. You think Genghis Khan had a loofah and scented candles? Wait. Actually, he might have, but that's not the point. The point is, kill the weasel. Drown it in cold showers. Starve it with discipline. Strangle it with purpose until your own voice, the voice of power, rises up from beneath all the fluff and fear. Because if you let that weasel run your life, you'll spend eternity trapped in the hamster wheel of almost strong, almost confident, almost ready, almost is for peasants. And I don't coach peasants. Who put this glitter pen on my desk? Do I look like I take notes in a Lisa Frank diary? Minions these days. I swear the last one brought me a chai latte with soy milk. Soy? I asked for dragon blood. Idiots. Anyway, lesson 3. Do it ugly. Do it awkward. Do it now. You don't need a matching gym set. You don't need a vision board. You don't need a 10-step morning ritual you found on YouTube, hosted by some guy who looks like he eats chia seeds for breakfast and hasn't blinked since 2014. You need action. Messy, sweaty, embarrassing. Action. Get your crusty little sneakers and go outside, jog until your lungs burn like the fires of Snake Mountain, film that ugly, shaky YouTube video, build that business with duct tape and rage if you have to, but move, you sloth in leggings. You think I started conquering realms with a plan? No. I had a staff, a scream, and unresolved childhood trauma. And yet, here I am, motivating you, with my abs of evil and unmatched bone structure. Yes, I know I'm magnificent. Try to keep up. Lesson 4. Stop looking for validation from people you wouldn't even trade lives with. Oh, my friends might judge me. Guess what? Your friends are broke. Your friends are scrolling the same apps, going to the same clubs, having the same conversations about their big plans that they never act on. And deep down, they want you to fail because your success makes their laziness obvious. So stop telling them your plans. Stop looking for permission from cowards. You don't need approval. You need results. You want a round of applause? Go clap for yourself in the mirror after you finish your 5th set of squats. That's the only cheerleader you need. Also, side note, if one more of you tags me in some quote about manifestation without actually doing anything, I'm going to throw a toaster into the void. Vision boards are not spells. Stop gluing glitter to your cardboard and go suffer productively. Now, if you're still listening, if your little chicken heart hasn't exploded from all this truth, then congratulations. You've just passed the first trial of pain tolerance. But don't get cocky. Pain is the entry fee, not the final boss. The final boss is you. That soft version of you. The one who apologizes for taking up space. The one who lowers their standards to be liked. The one who stays small to avoid triggering the weaklings. Destroy them. Rip that version of you apart. Burn the pieces and step into the ashes as the villain this world desperately needs. Because good guys finish last, but villains get remembered. Villains build empires. Villains get it done. Look at you. Still here, still listening, still drooling for more wisdom from the wicked. Admit it. You like the pain. You like being yelled at by a skull-faced tyrant. It's the most love you've felt in years. Well, don't get cozy. This is still a battlefield. Starve your distractions. Feed your obsession. You want domination, but you're still checking notifications like a raccoon digging in the trash. Every time your phone buzzes, you stop what you're doing like a trained squirrel chasing an invisible nut. Focus, you worm, focus. But I need my phone for work. No. You need it to scroll past people more disciplined than you. You need it to avoid the pain of doing your actual work. You need it because you've conditioned yourself to trade your empire for dopamine. You'll never create anything of power if you can't hold your attention longer than a goldfish in heat. Wait, what does that even mean? Goldfish in heat? Who wrote that into my notes? Ugh, whatever. It still applies. Turn your phone off. Silence your group chats. Mute the peasants. And drown yourself in your craft. Study until your brain is bleeding data. Train until your bones shake like tectonic plates. Build until your own reflection starts looking like a rival. That's obsession. That's the fuel of kings, queens, warlords, tyrants, and me. Stop being nice to the version of you that wants to stay weak. You keep negotiating with it, coddling it, soothing it with snacks, naps, and mental health breaks you didn't even earn. Enough! You don't need more rest. You need reconstruction. You need your own weakness to be so disgusted by your new strength that it flees. Would you let a traitor live in your house? No? Then why are you letting one live in your head? Make it uncomfortable to be lazy. Make it painful to skip your rituals. Make it impossible to sit in mediocrity without feeling the heat of my laughter burning through your skull. Yes, that's it. That's the pressure cooker of greatness. Get in. And by the way, if you're still waiting for someone to motivate you, you might as well put glitter on your gravestone now. Because that's where potential goes to die. Motivation is not a rescue dog. It's not coming. You want fire? Build the match, strike the stone, and burn it down yourself. Pain is not your enemy, it is your initiation. The gym will hurt, discipline will sting, isolation will tear open every part of you that's still codependent and cowardly. Good. That's how we know it's working. Every villain you admire, every god, every legend was born in pain, forged in rejection, tempered by betrayal, sharpened by the agony of becoming something more. Pain is the gatekeeper, and comfort is the sedative. So when it hurts, smile. You're getting closer. Where's my goblet? Who took my motivational goblet? I told you, fools, I drink from the black chalice only. Ahem. Now, final lesson for today. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be legendary. Let them call you arrogant. Let them call you obsessed. Let them call you delusional. You know what they never call you? Average. You are not here to be relatable. You are here to be untouchable. So stop trying to be cute. Stop trying to be digestible. Stop lowering your volume because cowards can't handle your full sound. Raise your voice. Raise your standards. Raise hell. Because you were not born to be soft. You were not summoned into this dimension to be liked. You were born to conquer. And I, Skeletor, will not rest until you do. Now get your bony ass up and make hell nervous. So, you've made it to the end. Well, well, well. Look at you crawling through fire, dragging your limp excuses behind you, and still breathing. You're not done, but you're not dead yet. And that's a start. Now it's time to close this out the only way I know how, with violence, truth, and one final spiritual backhand. Stop apologizing for evolving. Stop saying sorry for cutting people off who never deserved access in the first place. Stop justifying your ambition to the lazy. Stop explaining your solitude to the social leeches who drain you and call it friendship. Stop giving discounts to people who are never willing to pay the price of your greatness. You don't owe the past version of you a single breath. That person, that pitiful, watered-down, fragile thing you used to be, let them rot. Let them decay in the rearview mirror while you rise, scarred, selfish, obsessed, and divine. Become dangerous, not reckless, not chaotic, dangerous. Become the person who walks into a room and shifts the temperature. The person who doesn't have to speak to be felt. The one with an aura sharp enough to slice through lies, fear, and weak intentions. Train until your posture makes people shut up. Level up until your silence offends them. Build a presence so powerful even your absence echoes. You were not born to be harmless. You were born to be unforgettable. Do not seek peace. Build power. Peace is the reward of the powerful. But you don't get peace yet. You haven't earned it. You want peace now? That's like asking for dessert before the war. You're still in the trenches, still bleeding, still clawing your way out of the comfort coffin you've been buried in since birth. So, number, you don't get peace yet. You get pain, you get progress, you get power, and when that power has fortified every inch of your soul, then, maybe, you'll earn a moment to breathe. But until then, shut up and bleed with purpose. If they're not afraid to lose you, you haven't become a resource yet. Your presence should be so rare, so potent, so valuable, that losing access to you hurts. Not because you're mean, not because you're cold, but because you are excellent. You walk in excellence. You build, you lead, you sharpen, you grow, and the people who cannot meet you there should fall away like ash. Stop begging to be loved. Start becoming someone who cannot be replaced. Discipline is the last form of self-respect. You don't follow a schedule because it's cute. You don't train because it's trendy. You don't fast, grind, meditate, and study because it looks good on social media. You do it because you refuse to betray yourself. Because you are not a liar. Because you said you would. You do it because showing up for yourself when no one's watching is the highest form of royalty there is. Anyone can post results. Few can build them in silence. Purpose makes you ugly first. Yes, you will lose friends. You will get weird. You will become distant. You will stop relating to average people. You will talk to yourself. You will look crazy. You will be misunderstood. And that's the point. Becoming powerful is not aesthetic. It is agonizing. You will shed skin like a snake in the fire. You will outgrow rooms. You will offend the stagnant. You will trigger the insecure. You will intimidate the fake. And you will keep going anyway. Because real purpose is not for sale. And it sure as hell isn't for everyone. Your shadow is starving. You've been trying to be so good, so digestible, so pure. And that's exactly why you're stuck. There is a version of you, darker, sharper, louder, waiting to be unleashed. It doesn't want chaos. It wants alignment. It doesn't want destruction. It wants dominance. Let that version out. Stop trying to be healed. Be whole. That means claiming your rage, claiming your hunger, claiming your holy wrath. You are not broken. You are restrained. Unlock yourself. And finally, make God nervous. Not because you are evil, but because you are finally awake. Because you finally realize you are a creator. A walking force of divine will, forged in pain and baptized in obsession. You were not put here to vibe. You were put here to reign. So pick up your staff, pick up your sword, pick up your burden, pick up your name, and become the one they pray never rises. Because when you rise, there will be no mercy, only legacy. This has been Skeletor, your favorite villain, your worst nightmare, and now your trainer. Get up, get disciplined, get dangerous, and remember, no one's coming to save you, So you better become something worth fearing. And if you're still breathing after all that, good. Now do the next evil thing. Click something, watch the next video, follow the path of pain and power. Because I'm not done with you yet. Subscribe, so stay soft. Choose wisely. This is Skeletor, signing off. But I'll be watching, always.